Every investigation begins in chaos. Mountains of data, concealed clues, and stories that simply don't add up. Thousands of fragments scattered in every direction. But when you step back, tonight, I'll show you exactly how the Mosaic Method transforms chaos into clarity. Piece by meticulous piece, we reveal the hidden truth within the noise. You're about to see investigations in a whole new way. Welcome to the Michael Braa Show. I'm Michael Braa. Over decades of investigative work, I noticed that as technology advanced, the sheer volume of information flooding each case became overwhelming. I realized I needed a method, a structured approach to manage this increasing complexity and avoid getting lost in all the noise. And that's how I developed the Mosaic Method. Each fact, every data point, is treated like a tile in a mosaic. Alone, a tile might seem trivial, but placed together carefully, those pieces form a clear and powerful image, turning scattered data into actionable intelligence. The key realization was understanding that effective investigations aren't about chasing isolated clues. They're about systematically organizing vast amounts of information. The Mosaic Method changed everything, at least for me. And tonight I'll guide you through exactly how we collect meticulously, evaluate objectively, and disseminate clearly. Stay tuned. You're going to see firsthand how attention to detail and disciplined organization reveals truths others simply overlook. All of this and more right now on The Michael Braa Show.
Trust. It's hard to get and easy to lose. When the risk of loss is great and people are hurting, who do you trust? How about the people trusted by the biggest names in business, agriculture, and government? Atlanta's Private Investigations, building trust one case at a time.
I'm Michael, founder of Atlanta's Private Investigations. Let's talk. When you need help, your answers are here.
Not so long ago, investigations were simpler. Clues were fewer, documents manageable, and the investigators' greatest tools were intuition, persistence, and experience. Detectives would piece together mysteries by physically sifting through boxes of paper files, carefully examining handwritten notes, photographs pinned to corkboards, or poring over surveillance footage recorded on VHS tapes. It was a time when patience, legwork, and good old-fashioned detective intuition could effectively manage most challenges. Organizing facts wasn't the monumental task it is today. There simply weren't that many facts to manage. Today, that simplicity has vanished. Investigations now generate overwhelming amounts of data, thousands, if not millions of pieces of information from countless digital sources. Think about it. Every email sent, every text exchanged, every video uploaded, and every interaction across social media leaves a digital footprint, each potentially holding the key to solving our investigation. Public record databases stretch endlessly. Digital documents multiply exponentially. And cloud storage systems become vast oceans of potential evidence. Investigators today are often drowning in information, struggling to make sense of an endless flood of digital noise. Relying solely on intuition has not just become impractical, it's impossible. Yet, despite this dramatic shift, the fundamental principle behind my way of organizing information, what I call the Mosaic Method, is a deeply intuitive one. At its core, it's simply the structured, careful management of seemingly unrelated facts into a coherent picture. Think about how you naturally solve any complicated problem. You instinctively gather relevant details, place them side by side, and look for patterns, relationships, and connections. Each small detail matters. Each seemingly insignificant piece might be critical to understanding the entire puzzle. And this method makes inherent sense. It mirrors the way our minds naturally sort through complexity. The difference now is simply scale and speed. And this brings us to our greatest modern challenge, adapting our intuitive methods to technology. Humans can naturally understand context, recognize subtle relationships, and detect nuances in information. Machines, however, cannot. Artificial intelligence doesn't inherently grasp context, significance, sarcasm, or subtlety without explicit instruction. If we hope to manage today's data-driven chaos, we must teach these machines how to replicate our intuitive thought processes. This involves training sophisticated algorithms to identify patterns within massive data sets, distinguish meaningful connections from coincidental noise, and recognize subtle indicators of relevance buried deep in endless streams of data. Well, look at it this way. Imagine solving the largest jigsaw puzzle you've ever seen. Thousands of tiny, indistinguishable pieces scattered across the floor with no box image to guide you. And worse, no certainty all the pieces even belong to the same puzzle. This is the reality of modern investigative work. Looking at things like a mosaic isn't merely helpful, it's absolutely essential. By harnessing powerful machine learning techniques to teach machines our intuitive logic, we empower ourselves to organize overwhelming complexity, clarify chaos, and uncover truth previously thought impossible. Next, we'll explore how this process begins. The crucial first step of the Mosaic Method: disciplined, structured collection of data. Stay with us.
Hey, Michael, we've got an interesting situation here. The board of directors at Meridian Health Partners has reached out to us with concerns about their CEO, Alex Porter. You know him, celebrated for decades as a corporate icon. Lately, the board's picked up some troubling internal reports suggesting hidden transactions, possible cover-ups, and signs of financial mismanagement. They've asked us to look into it, discreetly but thoroughly. Here's our starting point. Imagine sorting through 20 years of history. Bank statements, payroll details, investment accounts. It's overwhelming without tech help. Luckily, we've got Mia, our investigative AI. She'll digitize and organize this data efficiently. Honestly, without automation, we would never even scratch the surface. Once everything's digitalized, Mia will use custom Python scripts to parse the data. Think of it as her quickly sorting through messy notes and bad photocopies. Every vendor, every transaction, every detail, even vague entries or intentional gaps get indexed. Often, it's those vague or missing details that tell us the most. Next, we'll apply Benford's Law, a forensic tool that flags unnatural numeric patterns. Normally, financial data follows predictable distributions, but manipulated data doesn't. We'll closely examine expense categories with vague descriptions. If there's manipulation, it'll jump right out at us. We'll also have Mia conduct extensive open source intelligence searches worldwide. Offshore accounts, hidden assets, leaked financial documents. Individually, these findings might look insignificant, but collectively, they can uncover significant patterns. I think the board will find the global connections particularly revealing. Additionally, we're verifying Porter's credentials. Degrees, professional licenses, employment history. Mia will automatically cross-reference these claims with official records. If Porter exaggerated qualifications or past roles, that raises serious red flags about its trustworthiness and could impact the board's decisions significantly. And finally, we'll analyze company phones. Even when texts or emails are deleted, they're often recoverable. Using Cellbrite, we'll extract hidden or deleted communications that Porter and his team might believe are safely gone. Corporate phones often hold critical values and clues, and I'm confident we'll find insights the board needs to see.
Consider the scale and diversity of the information landscape we navigate today. Every minute, vast quantities of data pour out from countless sources, each offering a unique piece of a larger puzzle. But our investigations don't rely solely on digital footprints discovered online. While Mia, our investigative AI, tirelessly mines digital archives and hidden corners of the web, she's just one crucial part of a broader, multifaceted collection strategy. To construct a generally comprehensive mosaic, we draw on a wide range of both human and technological resources. First, human intelligence remains essential. Interviews with witnesses, informants, and experts frequently reveal details not documented elsewhere. Critical context, motives, or subtleties are things only people can provide, remember? And alongside these first-hand insights, we systematically obtain public financial records, property transactions, loan details, liens, bankruptcies, court filings, all powerful indicators of activity, influence, and intent. Additionally, our investigative reach extends to specialized databases provided by third-party vendors, which grants us access to information typically inaccessible through standard online searches, such as, well, maybe we'll talk about that at another time. Our data collection also encompasses technological forensic methods that uncover evidence in personal devices. By performing digital forensics, we can extract valuable information directly from a smartphone, a laptop, a tablet, or a wearable device. These text messages, deleted files, browsing histories, and GPS tracking data, even device metadata, can reveal subtle yet critical insights. Our license plate reader databases provide precise geolocation records. Anonymized purchase histories offer clues to financial habits. Biometric archives from fingerprint databases, even facial recognition systems provide confirmatory identifiers. Even drone and security camera footage metadata from either commercial or residential properties can become vital puzzle pieces. No relevant source is overlooked or underestimated. And our reach doesn't stop at the edge of technology. Traditional records, such as archived newspapers, printed public notices, land registry documents from the county clerk's office, even microfilm archives from libraries can be a significant source of historic context. Corporate disclosures and filings with the SEC or other regulatory agencies, patent office databases, and environmental assessments, all of these are official records, and they contribute to details that form clearer, more accurate portraits of our subjects. We carefully collect and cross-reference these diverse sources, providing a unique vantage point in our investigation. The art and discipline of collection means embracing every available avenue, every potential source, human or technological, modern or traditional. It is a meticulous, impartial, and exhaustive process. We must gather each fragment without prejudice, without prematurely dismissing anything as irrelevant, because only when our collection is disciplined, thorough, and truly comprehensive can we reliably progress to the next stage, the evaluation, where we begin analyzing, verifying, and connecting these meticulously gathered facts into a meaningful story. With the data we've carefully gathered in hand, the evaluation stage begins. This is a crucial phase where we transform a mountain of raw information into precise, actionable intelligence. It's not enough to simply collect vast amounts of data, we've got to know what it means. And in today's investigative landscape, that kind of analysis demands more than human eyes and intuition alone. This is where Maya, our investigative AI, truly becomes indispensable. Let me be very clear. Evaluation isn't simply letting Mia sift through our data points. It's about applying sophisticated analytical tools strategically. For instance, when examining complex financial transactions, Mia employs advanced Python scripts to execute rapid forensic analysis. Scripts, basically instructions capable of identifying subtle anomalies that traditional manual reviews would miss entirely. One of these crucial tools, for example, is Benford's Law, a statistical method used to detect irregularities in numerical data. By applying the method across thousands of financial records, Mia can identify unnatural numeric patterns that can signify fraud, embezzlement, or carefully concealed misconduct in a matter of seconds. In a recent investigation, Mia highlighted an intriguing cluster of transactions, a pattern of precisely timed payments, each deliberately set just below reporting thresholds designed to evade scrutiny. Further, she identified these transactions consistently ending with similar digits, small irregularities that, to a human analyst, could appear random or coincidental or just get lost in the massive amounts of data. However, to Maya's analytical algorithms, this was unmistakably deliberate, an unmistakable signature hidden deep within the layers of legitimate activity. But despite her incredible capability, Mia, like other artificial intelligence, is not autonomous in evaluating the deeper meaning behind these patterns. I like to tell Mia that she's my brilliant yet narrow-focused friend with short-term memory loss. She excels at recognizing and flagging unusual patterns and rapidly processing enormous data sets, but she really lacks the human ability to fully interpret context, motive, or broader implications. That crucial insight, deciding why these patterns might exist and determining their significance, that remains firmly within the realm of experienced human investigators. So to put it all together, the evaluation, at least in our methodology, represents a blend of both human judgment and AI precision, turning data into intelligence. And only by uniting the extraordinary computational power of Mia with the experience, intuition, and analytical depth of seasoned and experienced investigators, only then can we effectively interpret the complexities that are hidden within these immense data sets. This partnership, this careful balance, is precisely what allows us to consistently uncover truths that would otherwise remain buried behind layers of digital noise. Once our evaluation is finished and our investigative insights clearly emerge, the process enters its final and perhaps most critical stage, dissemination. This is where all our meticulous efforts culminate into a clear, precise, and actionable report. Because no matter how sophisticated our analysis or how groundbreaking our discoveries, they're ineffective if our clients can't quickly grasp the significance and implications. Effective dissemination, therefore, isn't just summarizing facts. It's the art of clearly translating complex, detailed investigative findings into understandable narratives that compel decision makers to act. Every investigative report we produce begins with an executive summary, a concise, targeted synthesis crafted to provide immediate clarity. This section carefully outlines key findings, highlights significant anomalies, and briefly addresses potential implications for the reader. Whether the report is intended for a corporate board, legal counsel, law enforcement authorities, or regulatory bodies, the executive summary provides crucial information at a glance, clearly stating the investigation's most vital conclusions right up front. But the dissemination process doesn't end with the summary. Our reports are meticulously structured using hierarchical headings, clearly numbered subsections, and consistent formatting standards that guide the readers through dense investigative details. Each heading, such as identity verification, financial transactions, analysis, credential validation, or digital forensic findings, is carefully chosen to logically organize content, ensuring our clients can navigate effortlessly from one crucial finding to the next, quickly accessing the evidence and analysis most relevant to their immediate decisions. Now, if it seems I'm spending an awful lot of time on dissemination, understand that it's more than just report writing. It's the art of report writing. This is not the end of the investigative process, it's the very purpose. This stage is where the analysis, the collection, and the evaluation converge into a compelling narrative to communicate to our clients. Through effective dissemination, we ensure the evidence we've uncovered doesn't simply remain discovered, but actually drives informed, confident, and impactful action.
Well, sure, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was going through a devastating divorce. That's hard already. Then my ex hid our money and tried to take the kids from me. My attorney suggested I call Atlantis Private Investigations. That was the turning point. Michael and his team got me the proof I needed to get my children back and secure our future.
I'm Michael from Atlantis Private Investigations. Let's talk. When you need help, your answers are here. All right, Kara, let's dive into this a little bit. Tell me a little bit about the anomalies that Mia found during her first pass through.
Initially, Mia noticed subtle irregularities, small transactions consistently posted late at night and on weekends, times when standard monitoring systems weren't as active. They were cleverly mixed within legitimate vendor payments, making them almost invisible. These hidden payments were deliberately structured beneath typical compliance thresholds, seemingly random, yet consistent enough to form a pattern that only Mia could detect.
That's remarkable. Explain exactly how Mia sifted through such massive data volume to identify these obscure transactions. What made her pinpoint those specifically?
Mia systematically analyzed over 500,000 individual data points, financial records, communication logs, open source digital footprints. Using pattern recognition algorithms, she identified anomalies that stood out subtly, flagging them for further human review. Most intriguingly, she uncovered a single vendor name that precisely matched a user our subject once used for his alumni email. This small detail, easily overlooked by traditional methods, became our crucial lead.
And regarding the credential discrepancies, how did Mia verify that information? Can we trust the information she gave? Is there any room for doubt?
Mia meticulously cross-referenced every claimed credential against official databases. Degrees, professional licenses, past roles. We discovered intentional falsifications, non-existent qualifications, entirely fabricated certifications, and claimed professional experiences completely unsupported by official records. These weren't accidental oversights. They were deliberate attempts to deceive stakeholders and regulators, painting a false image of credibility and expertise.
Outstanding work, Kara. This is exactly how we take a complex investigation and turn it into a manageable product that the client could use. Outstanding work.
And that's the Mosaic Method, the relentless pursuit of truth hidden in oceans of data. Tonight we looked through mountains of digital information, looked under countless rocks, and opened every conceivable door. Well, why? Because investigation demands persistence. It demands that we examine everything, even knowing full well that 99 times out of 100 we'll find nothing but dirt, dust, and disappointment. But that 100th rock, that's where we find the silverfish, the hidden clue, the critical anomaly, the key piece of evidence that turns chaos into clarity. In the modern investigative world, data is everything. It's our greatest challenge, our most powerful asset. So we'll keep lifting rocks, we'll keep opening doors, and we'll keep sifting data, because every puzzle solved is worth the effort. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm Michael Braa. Keep asking questions, keep looking under rocks, and above all, stay curious. Good night.